Hello again, and good evening from Metro Manila, the Philippines, Southeastern Asia. Well, here it's evening. I have some very sad news for you. The French President Emmanuel Macron has been diagnosed with COVID 19 after displaying some early symptoms, so likely uh, mild fever and coughing and so forth. Various other political leaders have had to also self isolate. He has placed himself in self isolation for the next 7 days, but promises to continue working uh, on a long distance or digital basis. Macron is scheduled to turn 43 on December the 21st. At least his outward physical appearance seems to indicate that he takes great care of his physical fitness, so he should be able to recover fairly quickly. Office, the Elysee Palace in Paris, being the French president's official residence, said on Thursday that he had been diagnosed with COVID 19, sparking a track and trace effort targeting European Union leaders and senior officials who met him in recent days. Macron's office said in a statement, the President of the Republic has been diagnosed positive with the first symptoms. Macron would self-isolate for the next 7 days and would continue to run the country remotely. His wife Brigitte was also self-isolating. The French president's office, which declined to give details of his condition or which symptoms he had, said all Macron, at which he met a host of European Union leaders to discuss the European Union's climate change and Turkey. Face masks on. They took them off once they sat down to talks, although remained quite far apart at their round table. Macron and his wife Brigitte also hosted a private dinner with Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, during which he awarded him the Grand Cross of the Legion of Honor. This week, Macron had lunch with European Council President Charles Michel, who is also a former Belgian Prime Minister, as well as Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez and Portuguese Prime Minister Antonio Costa. Sanchez's office said he would quarantine. Macron was also photographed shaking hands with OECD chief Angel Gurria, who is 70. Macron's illness comes as negotiations between Britain and the European Union over a post-Brexit deal near their crunch point, with France saying it would rather veto a bad deal than sacrifice its fishermen. Macron's positive test was announced just 2 days after France relaxed measures to curb a second wave of COVID-19, replacing a nationwide lockdown with a curfew. French health authorities on Wednesday reported their highest increase in cases since November the 21st. So far, according to Reuters, 59,361 people have died in France from COVID-19. The government on Wednesday outlined its vaccination rollout program that it hopes will bring the virus under control over the next 6 months. The French presidency said Macron and his team were trying to assess where he could have contracted the virus. The French Prime Minister Jean Castex will also self-isolate after coming into contact with Macron over the last few days, although he has tested negative, according to his office. Political party chiefs from France's lower house of parliament, the National Assembly, were also in isolation because they had a lunch with Macron earlier this week. In September, French Finance Minister Bruno Le Maire was the highest profile cabinet member until now to get the virus. He said after recovering that it had been a particularly tough ordeal. Reporting by Dominique Vidalon, writing by John Irish, editing by Alex Richardson and John Boyle.